Hey everybody, this is Paul doing a quick dividend video. Today is May 15th, date's 2024, and the market is currently open as you can see. So we got a bit of a rally on our hands here. So I guess let's talk about the source of this rally, like where did it come from all of a sudden. So basically, it came from CPI coming in, I mean, I guess in line with what we would expect. Um, so basically, we're still waiting on OER, as you can obviously see. Um, but as you can see from this chart here that I found on Twitter, it's pretty obvious kind of what we're looking at here. It's such a lagged indicator. Everybody knows it's a lagged indicator. But because it wasn't a beat, there you go. This is what you get. You get a monster rally, new high. So all the people posting about like, oh, we're not going to break the new highs. Oh, that might be the top for the year. They don't know what they're talking about. I actually question, do these people go outside? We had a little meme rally here, which is apparently, you know, turned into a dud really quick. Lots of bag holders here, lots and lots of bag holders. If you were in on this, I don't know what to tell you. You shouldn't be watching my channel. You should be watching somebody else. So this is what we got. So basically, one thing that's going to come down pretty soon here is also energy. If you watch any of the accounts on Twitter that do like handle gas and that type of stuff, you should start to see energy costs come down. But I mean, as you can see, it makes up a tiny bit. But I mean, the biggest piece, obviously, shelter. So hopefully, we're still waiting on that to come down. Um, what's going on with the portfolio? Okay, so let's go over some things that have changed. So as you can see, or that right there, this is the current portfolio in Fidelity. So one thing that you're going to notice is that I sold out of my position in HYG, and the reason I did that I will explain here in 2 seconds. So my current car, the Prius that I have, or the old Prius, the 2015, something's up with the electrical on it. It's completely burnt out. It's got over 100,000 miles on it. I kind of was hoping to hold that thing until I had about 100,000 saved up, and then I was going to kind of build up like a little bit of a savings, and then use that as a down payment. But life comes at you fast, and the thing started blowing fuses. And then it's like an electrical issue going on there. So I had two choices: either fix it for probably 1,000 on electrical issues on a Prius, which has over 100,000 miles on it. And my kids barely fit in that little hatchback car I have, anyways. Or get a new car. So what I decided to do, as you can see here, you can see debt right there. That's the advantage of having this little thing going on here. I can have this little thing I show you guys full transparency. So we have this, and then I had to use my credit card as a down payment. So what I did is I pulled $2,500 out of here, HYG, and I'm putting that towards the credit card. So these numbers are going to be a little different. This doesn't actually show you my cash. Oh, it does show you my cash balance on here, kind of. At least this isn't even the total settled cash balance. Total settled cash balance is like 2,800 and something. But anyway, so what I'm doing is basically I'm taking 2,500 to pay down the credit card debt, and then what I'm doing, it was a plan I was going to do when I got to 100,000, was to do say 50-50. So say if I make $100 on DoorDash, for example, 50 would go to credit card debt, and then 50 would go towards Fidelity. I was just really racing to hit that 100,000 mark, but this got thrown at me, and I have to, like, this is too high for my comfort level, so I have to kind of like, focus on taking out this. So it's still going to be my preferred investment goal for the year was 70%, but that's going to quickly change to 50%. I don't have a choice. But if the market keeps running like this, I'll hit the 100,000. I'll still hit the 100,000, but I don't think I'm gonna hit 100,000 this year. I got 21,000 to go. I was kind of considering doing a few different things. I was thinking about pulling a 10,000 out of here and then using that to pay down the Cardone or something like that. But what I've decided to do is basically I took this to take down the credit card, and then I'm gonna do like a 50-50 type deal where I put like 50 in, 50 towards this. Um, and then also what I'm gonna do is I have dividend reinvesting turned off. So if you look here, 05.92 plus 41.04. That all pays out on one single day every month on the 31st. And then this is my new car payment here. So as you can see, so all I have to do is come up with 156 bucks. And that is the power of dividends. They allow you to deal with emergencies. I mean, I would prefer to have like, this dividend reinvested every month, snowball effect, all that stuff that people try to sell you online, but life, you got to deal with life. So what I can do is I can use this as part of my car payment and then just come up with that every month. So now technically my car payment is really only 156, which is pretty nice for a brand new Prius that only has like 20,000 miles on it. This is mostly just taxes in like Louisiana and stuff. It's really weird. It's really high in this area. Um, so that's what's going on the personal side. So I might not hit 100,000 this year. I'm not too sure, but what I'll do is if I do build anything back up, it'll be O for sure. I need to build that back up to where that was kind of the goal here. O and Jeppy are my two goals, so I don't care which one I throw money into. But I am going to keep a cash balance here, probably above 1,000. So I'm building up this cash balance too. So I'm not making any investments currently. I do have dividend reinvesting turned on for like say O, HYG, and Jeppy, but my current thing is to get a cash balance right here of about 1,000, just so I can have that monthly payment, and then let the other stuff just go into the cash account, and that'll keep that cash balance at about 1,000, just to have a payment backup kind of deal. Um, and then once I deal with my credit card, whatever that is, I should be able to deal with this relatively quick with the amount of money I'm just throwing at it literally every single day now. Um, so once that's taken care of or down to a low enough balance, I'll stop doing that 50-50 thing. So what's this video about? Now that we're 7 minutes in, really ain't got too much to talk about. The CPI was just kind of what I thought it was. I did want to point out something that I think is kind of going over a lot of people's heads. We're in what I would like to call a boomer service economy. That's what this is right now. And what that means is that a majority of the jobs being created, at least if you look under, say, like if you take this chart all the way back to, so this is the employment composition thing. If you take this chart all the way back to, say, the Bush administration, a majority of the jobs used to be in like leisure, that type of stuff, and administrative. But right now, majority of the jobs, I don't know if you noticed, are in healthcare every single month. That's a lot of jobs being created in healthcare. And why is it being created in healthcare? It's because we have this, the government, state Medicaid, Medicare, that type of stuff. I mean, it's other different things like local government, public education, that type of stuff. But we have a lot of jobs being created in government. We have a lot of jobs being created in healthcare. Now, if you look online, you're going to notice we're in a tech recession right now. We're just in a flat out recession. Like you open a tech position right now, and there's hundreds of applications. You open a position for just marketing right now, there's just hundreds of applications. So we're in what I like to call a white collar recession, but we're also in a boomer services economy. So anybody who's eaten out recently, if you have 2 kids and a wife, you're gonna notice that, like, say, a Mexican restaurant, or like a place like it that has like fancy like restaurant or whatever, you're spending $70 minimum. Um, just minimum. Even McDonald's has like ridiculous prices right now. So, and you're asking yourself, like, who is doing this type of stuff? Well, the advantage of kind of doing DoorDash every day is I walk in and out of these restaurants, so I can see. By the way, this part of the so this is another thing too. So you see manufacturing, that ties back down to here, our government spending. So when you go inside a lot of these restaurants, it's filled with boomers during the daytime, just from 8 a.m. up until 5 p.m. when people my age get off of work. And then it might fill up with younger people, but a majority of these places are filled with older people. That's who's keeping the service economy alive right now. It's kind of a weird thing, but if you go into a lot of these places, it's just very old people that are just in there, like, either shopping during the day, paying the prices for whatever the stuff is, and then that's where the services inflation is coming from. Um, so we're in kind of what I just literally call a boomer services economy, because they're not going to cut back Medicare and Medicaid spending. That would be crazy, because boomers vote. If you want what you want, you got to show up and vote, and then you'll get a voice. But like, if you look at the breakdown, this economy is heavily focused on service and boomers. It's just a very interesting breakdown of how it's like really set up right now. Um, it's just very interesting. It's just one of those things that I've noticed. But we're in a white collar recession at the exact same time that we're having a services economy that's booming because of boomers. So I think that needs to be something that needs to be studied probably by economists just to figure out how this economy readjusted to an aging population because all the younger people are going into like nursing, that type of stuff. And I don't know if it'll rotate at some point back to like, maybe what it was like under the Bush administration where it's more leisure than anything, which are low paying jobs. But that's kind of what's keeping this whole situation going is the government spending, boomers who are retiring about 10,000 a day, they're up to that age, even the ones that stayed in, but then we also have just people that are servicing those boomers. So it's just kind of like a weird cycle we have going on. So I think that's just kind of my little thoughts at the moment. I just mostly wanted to put this out right now why the video is going to be like a little off or like a little different because in reality May has been ridiculously good. Just even with the amount today, if I had back in at 2,500, this would probably, well, it would be this number up here. That would be the number actually going on this video right now if I hadn't pulled this money right here to pay down my credit card debt. But that would be the number that's in literally 15 days, which is insane. Even pulling $2,500, think about that. Even pulling $2,500, I'm still up 1471. That's a lot. So it's been a pretty good 15 days. So if you bought the dip all through April, you are getting heavily rewarded right now. If you listen to people that didn't know what the hell they were talking about on Twitter, I don't know where they were pulling some of this bear stuff from. That it was obviously overdue for a correction until earnings came in to back it up, and then Apple came in and said, "Okay, you want to talk about liquidity getting drained out of the market? Here's $100 billion." Like, I don't know what bears are on, like what planet bears are living on, but they're not living on the same planet as us. Until something changes in like government spending maybe or like some kind of credit event or maybe like a world event like China going into Taiwan, we're fine for the moment. Like I said, I'll let you guys know when I just see completely dead zones for like weeks at a time and stuff. That'll kind of give me a heads up that people are like really stressed. I mean, we do have obvious signs that stuff is not going smooth. Um, like this is credit card delinquencies, like pretty obvious. We're kind of getting up to that little area where people are like having to put things on credit cards more. So it's there, and I guarantee this is tied directly. I guarantee a majority of this is California. Very large amounts of people, like people having to put things on credit cards, or people having to put property taxes on credit cards, or like these insane car insurance things that you're seeing every month. So it's there. Like it's there. Like there's room for there's a place where a recession could show up pretty quick if it wanted to. But it's not going to for the moment until you see maybe like older people pull back on spending, and then that would be like a huge catalyst. So I guess just keep an eye out. As of right now, I don't see it. I still don't expect a June cut. That's kind of ridiculous that that's even priced in. So we are actually due for a pullback. I mean, like this rally is nice, but I mean, when they come out and say we're not doing a June cut, this could kind of change around on us. So it won't go back up to 5, but I mean, this is kind of due for like a little. This might be getting ahead of itself at the moment. So let me know what you think in the comments. Like I said, I have some thoughts on it, and I just definitely wanted to give you guys an update on kind of like my new car situation, that kind of stuff. And this new car should easily be able to take me to this goal very, very easily. I'm at 22,000 miles on it. I got like another 80,000 miles before I even start to have issues with a Prius. So by that point, I could pull another 120,000 easy. So let me know what you think. Y'all, thank you so much for listening. Y'all have a nice day.